What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Travis, back with another video today. And today we will be hopping back on Madden. Yes, so as you guys know, hopefully you guys watched, hopefully you guys enjoyed. But we had the Face the Franchise series to start things off with Madden, and then we did the NBA team in Madden as a fantasy fun little experiment. But today I will be doing what I've seen some YouTubers out there do. It is the 82 and 0, or 82, I guess that's the NBA, which if y'all want to see a 2K version of this, let me know. But I'm doing a 17 and 0 challenge now, because 17 weeks. So a 17 and 0 challenge in Madden 22. So pretty much what I'm going to be doing, as we pop up our screen now, I have a wheel spinner here with all 32 NFL teams, and I'll be picking so I'll spin the wheel, and whatever team it lands on, I'll be picking a quarterback, a running back, I'll be picking 3 receivers, 2 tight ends, just in case the team that we go with has a 2 tight end set as their scheme. I will be picking 2 tight ends. So one of those may be a throwaway pick just in case the team is not that good, but we'll get to that when it comes down the road. But then we will pick an O-line and we will pick a defense. So the team that we will be going with is the team that whatever defense we go with. So that would be the team that we're actually using. So let's go ahead and start this. Let's figure out who we're going to be. So I have a little notepad here thing on my phone to keep up with this. So I think I have a pretty good grasp on the NFL. So hopefully I can do well here. And hopefully I can remember most of the players from each team. Some of these teams I might not really know. But without further ado, let's go ahead and make our first spin of the video. So our first spin will be the Seattle Seahawks. Okay, this is very interesting because I could go with my quarterback here with Russell Wilson. I don't really know how well he does in simulations usually, but they do have DK Metcalf, and I think I want to go ahead and go with DK Metcalf as my first pick. I think I can get a better quarterback, so we're going to go ahead and go with DK Metcalf as our first receiver. Alright, now on to our second spin of the video. Let's see who else we have to go with. So we have the Baltimore Ravens. Now I could go with the tight end with Mark Andrews right here, but Lamar Jackson is kind of up and down in these simulations. I know who I want at quarterback, but the thing is, do I go tight end here or do I go quarterback? And I think I have to go tight end. I'm going Mark Andrews, okay? Now, it's a very interesting pick because I can always get another tight end as well in the future. So Mark Andrews could be a throwaway pick if I get a more dominant tight end, or it could be the smart move if I end up getting a quarterback that I think will do well in simulation. So I'm also thinking about simulation factors here with Madden, and it looks like we'll be the Tennessee Titans. Okay, well, there is no surprise here. I am going the king, Derrick Henry. Not a surprise at all, just an absolute beast, and I know he does well in simulation. He always leads the running back categories in yards, carries, everything. So I'm definitely going with Derrick Henry there as a solid pickup for the running back. So looking good so far. I believe this is a very solid team so far. Derrick Henry definitely helps out a lot. So next up, we have the Chicago Bears. This is a tough one because I think I want to go defense here because their O-line is not good. And I don't want any of their skill position players. The only one that I'm really thinking of is Darnell Mooney. but I don't think he is that good yet in Madden, at least for a 1-year sim. So I think I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears defense. So once again, that will be the team that we will be using for this challenge since we have their defense. So instead of moving everybody around, we'll just use the Chicago Bears. So now we need one more tight end, we need 2 more receivers, a quarterback, and an O-line. So O-line, I don't really know what I'm looking for here. That's something that I don't really. And of course I get the Rams. I could have went with the Rams defense, but as long as they've updated it, I'm going with Cooper Kupp. As long as they've updated it, I'm going with Cooper Kupp. Leading the league in receiving in multiple receiving categories right now. So Cooper Kupp is on the team. We're looking good so far. I would say we're still looking good. So the Rams defense on paper is very good. In real life, they're kind of struggling a little bit. Please, Colts. Oh my God. I'm going to have this be a throwaway pick. Actually, no, let's not have this be a throwaway pick. I was going to choose whoever their tight end was, but I think we can get a better second tight end. So I'm actually going to go with the Rams O-line. This could hinder me, but as long as we can get a really solid quarterback here, I'm gonna go with the Rams O-line. So we have that down, and now we need one more tight end, one more receiver, and the quarterback. So we still have 3 more spins that we can use for that quarterback that we are so desperately looking for. Oh man, that would have been a great O-line to have though. Well, injuries would have been off, so I would have had Bakhtiari. But their O-line is pretty good, so that would have been tough. That would have been tough to have on the team. So I can either go receiver, tight end, or quarterback. I don't think I'm going tight end, so it's either between quarterback, which is Aaron Rodgers, obviously, or I could go Devontae Adams. So I don't like my chances here, so I'm going Aaron Rodgers. Okay, Aaron Rodgers, one of the best all time throwing the ball talent wise. Obviously people talk about his success in the playoffs, and his Super Bowl came like 10-11 years ago, but talent wise, throwing the ball, just puts it on a string every single time. So I don't like my chances here. I don't want to get a team. I have 2 more spins though, but I also don't want to get 2 teams where they don't have like a dominant quarterback. So we have the Cardinals. Okay, so this is fine because Kyler Murray doesn't do that well in simulations most of the time. There will be some times that he will be good, but this is actually fine because I definitely am going DeAndre Hopkins here. So we're gonna add D-Hop to this team, and right now pretty much what all it comes down to is this last spin. Who are we gonna get? We need one more tight end. So whoever it is, we're got to take their tight end. So it will be the Seattle Seahawks. I don't know who their tight end is, so that's unfortunate. But I am kind of glad. Honestly, Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson wouldn't have been too bad to have, but I think Aaron Rodgers will be better with this team. Because when he does throw, he has DK Metcalf, Cooper Kupp, and D-Hop to throw to. And then most of the time, he'll probably be handing it off anyways. So now I am going to go into Madden 22, and I am going to build this team. So I will see y'all when I get into Madden 22. All right, guys, we are on Madden 22 now with our team. So as you guys know, we took Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. We took Derrick Henry at running back with the wheel spins. We have DeAndre Hopkins, Cooper Kupp, and DK Metcalf all as our receiver. We're looking really good at receiver. We also have Marquise Goodwin as a burner in at the 4th if ever he comes into the game. We have Mark Andrews at tight end number 1, and as you guys know, we did 2 tight ends, and at the end we spun the Seattle Seahawks, and that tight end is Gerald Everett. So we have Mark Andrews and Gerald Everett at tight end, and also we took the Rams O-line. So we have Whitworth at left tackle, we have David Edwards at left guard, Brian Allen at center, Austin Corbett at right guard, and Rob Havenstein at right tackle. And obviously, if you don't know, we have the Bears defense. Obviously, we were using the Bears. I chose the Bears defense. So we have Akeem Hicks, Bilal Nichols, Eddie Goldman, Khalil Mack. So that's a good one. Roquan Smith is a beast as well. Jamie Collins is not on the Bears. Okay, okay, so I turned manual on everything, but for some reason in week 4 of the preseason, the computer decided to cut Danny Trevathan. And well, Danny Trevathan had gotten picked up, and I did not feel like trading for him, so I just grabbed somebody that was a similar overall in the free agency, and that happened to be Jamie Collins. So I apologize for that. Okay, it's not fully right. I understand that, but they're similar overalls, so bite me. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference anyways, because he's not starting. So right outside linebacker is Robert Quinn. Cornerback is Jalen Johnson. Brian Poole is not on the Bears. I had to get him because I thought I was going to trade him for Derrick Henry, and I'll tell you all about that in a second, but I went ahead and released him. So we have Jalen Johnson, Artie Burns, Duke Shelley, Xavier Crawford. Our corners are not that good except for Jalen Johnson. Eddie Jackson at free safety, Tashawn Gibson Sr. at strong safety, and obviously kicker and punter we have the Bears. So I'm not too worried about that. But back to the Derrick Henry thing, it was funny because obviously Derrick Henry is injured, and so I couldn't trade for him in the regular roster, so I had to come into franchise with pre-existing injuries off, obviously, and I had to try to trade for a round 1 pick this year because the Bears didn't have one. So I had to trade for one so that way I could give them this year's first and next year's first, as well as David Montgomery for Derrick Henry. So that way I could actually get Derrick Henry on the team because I couldn't trade for him on the regular roster. So we did end up getting him, so not a big deal, but just wanted to let y'all know that. So we have our team acquired. We are good to go, ready to roll, and let's see if we can go 17-0. All right, as we come to our first week game against Los Angeles Rams, not an easy game for our first one, so hopefully we can win. But I do want to let y'all know a couple things as well. You know, just in case y'all want to know some of the details. So, third down running back and power running back is I've obviously put Derrick Henry there. But for slot receiver, slot corner, all that stuff, it's just based off of overall. So I think our slot receiver, I think is DeAndre Hopkins. So all of that is based off of overall. And as far as schemes go, I just went based off of what percentage of my roster fit. So I will show you all that now. So we go to team schemes, and the one that fit the most for our offense was vertical zone run. As you can see, the scheme fit is 83%. So that was the highest amongst offense. So that's the one that I went with. So obviously we have Derrick Henry. We don't have an elusive back. So hopefully that doesn't hinder his production that much. Hopefully. I'm hoping. But that was the one that fit the most. Our defensive scheme didn't change. This is actually better. I mean, this was actually the default, I believe. It may have been base 3-4. I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure this was default. But either way, it's 3-4 fits our scheme 96%. And then the offensive playbook, I went with Tampa Bay because it uses the vertical zone run, which is obviously our offensive scheme. So I wanted to line that up. And then our defensive playbook is just default. So, and as you guys can see, I'm not wearing my headphones either. I don't need them. There's nothing playing, so don't need those. But anyways, let's go ahead and sim our first week. So we do have looks like we have a night game. Not sure what day it is, but I'm gonna go ahead and sim the first week. Hopefully we can get a dub, and we got a dub. So we are officially 1-0, and I just wanted to see our stats as well. So we have a 92 offense, a 80 defense, and an 86 overall. So a very, very solid team. I'm hoping I can get this done because I watched other YouTubers do it, and I really wanted to try it. So I am definitely wanted to do this. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and sim the rest of the season, look at all the stats and everything, and see if we can go 17-0 and also hopefully win the Super Bowl. So let's go ahead and sim. I'll see y'all in about 2 seconds. Alright guys, we are here at the end of the season, and unfortunately we did not go 17-0. So that is very unfortunate, and hopefully you guys watched the NBA team video. So obviously if you didn't see it but you want to go back and watch it, I'm just let you right know I'm gonna let y'all know right now, this is a spoiler alert. So if you want to go watch it, click off this video now and go watch it, because this is a spoiler alert. But we did go 17-0 in the NBA team video. Obviously most of the players were very high overall, so it wasn't surprising. Unfortunately, we did not go 17-0. We went 13-4. So I'm gonna come over here to schedule, team schedule, Bears regular season. We took an L in week 3 to the Browns. Then we went on a little win streak. We took an L in week 11 to the Ravens without Mark Andrews. That's very surprising. We took an L to the Packers in week 14 without Aaron Rodgers. Hold on, I gotta look at that. So they do have Justin Fields though. So Justin Fields had 291, 3 touchdowns, and no picks. Aaron Rodgers did have 4 touchdowns and 1 pick for 366 yards. So not a bad game. Derrick Henry had 76 yards on the ground. Aaron Jones had 71 with a touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins went crazy. Cooper Kupp did good. How on earth did they win? Like, they didn't have any defensive touchdowns. He only had 1 field goal. See, golly, that's very surprising that we lost that game. Okay, well, we took an L. That's okay, I guess. And then we somehow lost to the Giants 14-17. I have no idea how we lost to the Giants. That is a really bad loss for us. But again, we are 13-4, so a very, very good season. So I think we need to go into stats now, see what happened. So let's hop into it. All right, so we are here in the statistics of the season, and Tom Brady led the league in yards, 5,715 yards. Patrick Mahomes had 5,074, and our boy Aaron Rodgers comes in at 5,016. And Justin Fields, who we traded for, just interesting stat down here, 4,700. We look at touchdowns, and Aaron Rodgers actually led touchdowns. So a very, very good pick for me. But also, I mean, we also had great skill positions as well. But he did throw 14 picks, so it might have been a little bit too many. But a great season for him, honestly. He got sacked 28 times, which was half of the most. So I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Offensive line held up pretty well. Rushing 1781 for Joe Mixon. Zeke 1731 with 23 touchdowns. So Derrick Henry is actually at 1407 with 13 touchdowns. So again, that may have been because of the scheme, but the scheme also allowed Aaron Rodgers to go off. So I can't really be too mad that Derrick Henry didn't really dominate the way he can. But he did have a really good season though, so I can't really complain. Because Aaron Rodgers went off himself. Let's see if we have anybody up there. So Calvin Ridley and Mike Evans tied in yards. That's funny. DeAndre Hopkins 1,518 yards, 14 touchdowns. Let's see if we have anybody else up here. DK Metcalf 1130 with 10. Mark Andrews has 911 with 8 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp is down here at 881 and 8 touchdowns. So I'm very surprised that Cooper Kupp wasn't higher. I mean, DK Metcalf has the speed. DeAndre Hopkins is obviously a well overall balanced stud. Cooper Kupp is a stud as well. More of a route runner. But I'm very surprised that he didn't do way better than that. So we go to defense, tackles. Demario Davis with 152. I doubt we're gonna have. Well, Roquan is up here with 132. TFLs. I don't know if we're gonna have anybody up here. I don't think so. The highest we have is Khalil Mack at 13. Max Crosby had 21 sacks. Wow, good for him. And our highest sack total was Khalil Mack at 8.5. Unless somebody's not on this list. Sometimes they won't be on this list. But Xavier Howard had 7 picks on the season. Mike Hilton had 7. I doubt anybody's going to be up here for us. Yeah, Gibson had 4. Forced fumbles. Bobby Wagner led the league. Not surprising. Defensive touchdowns on the season. Jimmy Smith, Howard, Curse, DJ Reed, Mike Hilton, and JC Jackson. So overall, I mean, pretty solid season overall. Wouldn't say anybody technically dominated. Let's see. I do want to see what our kicker did. So our kicker was one of the second worst kicker in the league. So that's fun. Cairo Santos, 8 for 13, 61%. Did end up missing an extra point, so that's cool. It was blocked. It was blocked. Okay, it wasn't missed. It was blocked. So Pat O'Donnell only had 38 punts for 1978, average of 52. So definitely had a boot. I mean, he's down a little bit, but that's okay. So kick return, let's see who got some kick returns. So Rondell Moore had 1, Deshaun Jackson had 1, and Dwayne Washington had 1. So none of us had 1, and then punt return, Tony Pollard had 1 for the Cowboys. So solid season stat wise. We'll go ahead and jump into awards now and see if anybody has won any awards. All right, so NFL MVP goes to Tom Brady. Not surprising. He had the most yards. He didn't have the most touchdowns, but he did have the most yards. He definitely balled out. Had a great season. Zeke actually came in second in MVP voting. I think that's because he had 23 touchdowns or something like that on the ground, and plus a lot of yards as well. So Patrick Mahomes came in third, and our boy Aaron Rodgers came in fourth. So that's funny. Coach of the year, our coach Matt Nagy, however you want to say it, 5th in coach of the year. That's also funny because he might not be a head coach much longer in the NFL come the end of the season. I guess if they don't do it during the season, So we'll move on to NFC. We're not really worried about AFC, to be honest. NFC, Aaron Rodgers came in third in Offensive Player of the Year. We did not have anybody because, well, nobody wanted to do anything on defense. So Khalil Mack only had 8.5 sacks, and apparently that was our leader. So Offensive Rookie of the Year was Justin Fields. Good for him. I was thinking about trading Andy Dalton and keeping Justin Fields on the team, but I was like, nah, let me see what he does, because he is better than Jordan Love. So I was curious to see what he actually did. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Zaven Collins. I don't think we have anybody, and it really doesn't matter. Best quarterback, Aaron Rodgers comes in second behind Tom Brady. Best running back, Derrick Henry comes in seventh. Best receiver, DeAndre Hopkins actually did win best receiver in the NFC, so that's cool. Mike Evans came in second, Antonio Brown in third. DK Metcalf was in seventh, so two of our three receivers did make the best receiver list. Best offensive lineman, we don't have anybody. Best defensive lineman, we don't have anybody as well, because they didn't ball out. Best linebacker, Khalil Mack came in 10th in best linebacker. Actually kind of surprised that, well, I guess I was kind of surprised Roquan Smith didn't make it, but I'm looking at a lot of these players, and a lot of these are pass rushers. So I guess that's the reason why, because they care about sacks more than anything. So best defensive back, Marshawn Lattimore. Gibson did come in third, but nobody else. Best kicker, we're definitely not going to be up there. Cairo Santos was buns. So those are the awards on the season. Don't think any records were broken or anything like that. Let's look at the team stats. So defensively, we were 21st in yards allowed. We were actually 5th in points scored. We're 19th in points allowed, so about middle of the pack almost. 3rd in offensive yards, 21st in defensive yards allowed, as we already saw, and we're just going back and forth. So a solid. So we definitely did good on offense. Our defense was about middle of the pack, I would say. I mean, defensive yards was on the back end at 21st, but the points allowed was about middle of the pack. So I kind of figured that's where the Bears defense was going to be at, was like right in the middle of the pack. So I'm going to go ahead and back out now, and I'm going to go ahead and sim to the Super Bowl and see if we can make the Super Bowl. It'd be very disappointing if this team doesn't make the Super Bowl. I'd be honest. I hope we didn't go 17-0, so I really hope we can win the Super Bowl. So I will see y'all as soon as I sim, and hopefully we will be in it. All right, guys, as you can see the screen, we did win, or we did make it to the Super Bowl, and guess who we're facing? Not a surprise. The Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm guessing we did go through the Buccaneers. So we did end up, I don't know if we eliminated them or somebody else did, but Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, the MVP of this league, did get eliminated. And we did end up moving on to the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm really hoping that we can win, because I know a lot of these simulations, the Kansas City Chiefs win almost every single time. So I'm really, really hoping that we will win this Super Bowl. I'm really hoping. So this is going to be the end of the video. So let's go ahead and sim. See if we can win that Super Bowl. Let's do it. Let's go, everybody. Let's go. Look at the screen. There it is. The Chicago Bears, are the 2021 Super Bowl champions. Something that will not be said in real life, but it happened here today on Madden 22. The Chicago Bears are now 2-time Super Bowl champions. And the Super Bowl MVP was Roquan Smith, and as you can see, all the season accolades on the side as well. So yeah, we ended up winning. We ended up beating the Kansas City Chiefs. So that's a great end to the video. I know we didn't go 17-0, but we did win the Super Bowl against one of the more overpowered teams in Madden. And if they can get their game together, they're one of the more overpowering teams in the NFL in real life. They've struggled a little bit this season, but everybody knows that they can kind of flip it on once they get it back together. But we did end up beating them here, so a great win. I guess we could look at stats for this game, and we'll see what happens. So Bears, we're going to postseason. Super Bowl, we took a dub against the Kansas City Chiefs. So in the Super Bowl, Aaron Rodgers threw for 293, a touchdown and a pick. So not a great game from him. Patrick Mahomes 314, 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. So not a great game for him either. Rushing 21 for 89 yards and 2 touchdowns for Derrick Henry, the king himself. Clyde Edwards-Helaire only had 37 yards on the ground. Demarcus Robinson had 8 for 113 and had both of their touchdowns. DeAndre Hopkins had 7 for 112, and he had our touchdown, which was the only one thrown by Aaron Rodgers. But Tyreek Hill had 8 for 80. Mark Andrews had 62 yards. DK had 60. Cooper Kupp had 47. And I think that's about it. Our defense, Roquan had 16 tackles, a sack, a pick. And okay, so he didn't return the pick, but I definitely can see how he won Super Bowl MVP. 16 tackles, a sack, a pick. That's pretty wild. That's honestly something that would happen if I was actually using him. He would probably have more. He'd have more TFLs though. But let's see. Oh, did not mean to do that. Let's look at the other stuff. So Cairo Santos ended up missing another field goal. I mean, that's what you get from the second worst kicker in the entire league, or in a NFC at least, or no, in the entire league. He was second worst. O'Donnell had 3 for 123, a 41 average. Not that good unless he was trying to get it inside the 20. Not sure. Kick return, nobody really did anything. Nobody scored or anything like that. Punt return, nobody scored. So not, I mean, I don't know if that was a really exciting Super Bowl. If that were to happen in real life, I don't know if that would have been really exciting. But we went through the playoffs. We dropped 49 on the Cardinals. So we did eliminate the Buccaneers in the divisional. So we beat them 35-28. Then we beat the Giants 28-21. I don't know how the Giants are so good. That is very interesting. They made it all the way to the conference playoff round, but we ended up beating them, and we ended up beating the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. But I'm very curious to see who. So they signed Colin Kaepernick. So now they have Colin Kaepernick running the offense. Saquon had 71 and a touchdown. So they still have Saquon, Ingram, Galladay. I mean, they still have all their receivers. I mean, Jabril kind of went crazy. I mean, their defense is pretty solid. But I guess all they need to do is just sign Colin Kaepernick, and they'll make it to the conference playoffs. I guess that's all they have to do. But I believe that's all we have. So that is gonna do it for today's video. Hope you guys really enjoyed enjoyed this experiment. It's definitely a fun one to see what would happen. It's kind of random with the spin wheel as well. And if y'all want to see it again, definitely let me know down in the comment section. If y'all want to see this with 2K, I can do this with 2K as well. So go ahead and let me know down in the comment section, who would you have picked? So if you want to go back and look at all my spins, let me know what team you would have picked. And if you actually do this experiment with those players, definitely let me know how you did. So that's gonna do it for today's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Go ahead and drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, I appreciate it, and hit that bell notification so that way you don't miss any more content uploaded to the channel like this. I appreciate you guys so much. So until next time, I will see y'all later. Peace.